Hi there. Hello. So we are here today because yes, it's a get ready with me, but I will be using this palette today, which is the ColourPop Cloud 9 palette. And I love using this palette for the reason, well, first of all, it's great for fair skin tones. And as you can see, I am quite fair. And second of all, this palette gives this really chic look, if you know what I mean. You know, it's a soft but still glam. I will show you today. I think you're gonna like it because it is something that is very easy to do, but at the same time, it looks very good. So obviously before we start with the palette, I'll do my face. And for those who have been following me for some time, you obviously know that I'm using my own cushion foundation, which is a mixture of different foundations. Let me just take my piercing out. And it's very simple, quick and easy way to do my foundation. And obviously because, you know, I mixed it myself, it suits me well, it gives me the coverage that I need, and it obviously also suits my color. Because I do have that problem quite often. Not a lot of foundation ranges do have my shade. I am very fair, but at the same time, I have a neutral undertone and not a pink undertone. Usually people that have a very pale skin color, they usually have pink undertone. I don't. And I'm neither pink nor yellow. So let me just quickly finish up the face, and then we can move on to the eyeshadow, because it is something that I like creating every day. And if I do not know what to do on my eyes, I will either grab the Cloud 9 palette or hello, or I would grab the Natasha Denona, what's it called, MIDI, and I Need a Nude palette. Okay, so I think that is it for the foundation. Let me just add some concealer. Let's pretend we slept. I'm going to use the creamy Shape Tape. Creamy Shape Tape. Yeah, I cannot talk today. Sorry about that. Creamy Shape Tape. There you go, from Tarte. And yeah, I do like this concealer a lot. If you have been watching me, you already know that, but this concealer does give the coverage, but it doesn't give, first of all, this heavy feeling under the eyes. Oops, I just dropped it. And also, it doesn't look cakey and it doesn't look dry. And I do have this problem quite often that my under eye area looks dry, even though I have combination oily skin, but unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, now that looks so much better. It looks like I actually slept. And yes, I say that every time I'm using this concealer, but it does, right? Now, I will leave the concealer for just a little bit so it sets, and I will set the face for now. Again, I will be using a mixture of powders. Yeah, this is the Hourglass packaging. But here I have my Fenty Beauty powder in lavender. I have the ColourPop in soft pink. And what else? Yeah, the Wet n Wild in the shade Translucent. And let me just show you the color. You're probably not going to be able to see, but it actually looks normal. It looks like my skin color. So that's why I mix them up, because the lavender powder from Fenty Beauty, even though I love the powder itself, but the shade doesn't suit me. I don't actually know why I purchased a lavender powder, because I do have dark under eye circles, And obviously, if you apply something that is lavender, that is, you know, purple basically, obviously you're gonna emphasize the under eye circles, right? So that's exactly what I do if I just use the Huda Beauty powder. I can use it all over the face, yeah, but not under my eyes. And usually that's where I need the most, you know, setting to take place. So let me just quickly double check how do I look, because now I'm looking into my phone and I cannot see everything properly. Okay, the concealer creased just a little bit, so I'm just taking the same sponge that I used to apply the concealer and the cushion foundation, and I'm kind of, you know, cleaning the creases just a little bit. Because if you do set your concealer straight away and you don't give it time for creasing, then you're gonna set it with too much product under your eyes, and obviously is going to crease during the day. So if you're applying concealer, just let it sit for like a few minutes or something like that. Do whatever you need to be doing, and then come back to the concealer, check it if it's okay. If there's creasing, obviously you can use a Q-tip, for example, or you can use a sponge and spread it out, and only then set it. I like to leave it 2 times, so you saw me cleaning it up right now, and I will leave it. I will not set it still for a few more minutes. I'll do my face, my complexion, and then I'll come back to it and set it again. So for the complexion, I will be using these products. This is the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural, I think it's called. Yes, the Hyper Natural face palette, a face and eyes palette. And I'm going to be using these 2 shades, the contour and the bronzer. Yeah, you cannot use them separately. I mean, I have a small brush and yeah, it's not gonna fit here. Maybe you could take like, you know, a small fluffy brush, but it's not going to be very convenient if you would like to contour just using this shade. I think Natasha Denona was supposed to split the pen in 2 at least, like here. So at least that way you can actually use all of the powders separately. But, you know, this, I just basically combine the shades, mix them like that, then tap off my brush and apply it where I would normally apply the bronzer. And don't be fooled, because I do see that you guys see that it's orange. It's not orange. It is warm toned, but it's not orange. I don't know why you guys see that. And then a little bit on the forehead as well, just like that. Okay, that's a little bit too much. If that happened to you, if you applied too much, don't be scared. Just take your powder brush and blend it out. It works perfectly fine. See? Now it's blended. Okay, and which shade? Let's do the lighter, this one, the lighter blush for today, because we do have a lighter palette. So let's do a lighter blush. As you can see, it still gives some color. And I like to apply it again as well, just a little bit on the forehead, on the cheekbone, just a tiny bit on the nose. You barely can see it, but it gives, you know, this kind of flushed look. The quality of this palette is good, but not for the eyeshadows. Unfortunately, you probably can you see that most of the shades here have hard pan? Yeah, I cannot use that palette for eyes. Only this shade, which is called Dreamy, it's a nice sparkle. That shade I can use on the eyes. It doesn't get hard pan, but all the others, unfortunately, they do. And let's top this blush because I want just a little bit more shine. Let's top it with this one, Sephora Colorful Luminizer in the shade 03. It's great as a blush and as a topper. So yeah, let's just add a tiny little bit for shine. It is very cool toned. It is kind of this, you know, pink shade, but it has almost a blue shift to it. So it's very, very cool toned. So if you do have a warmer complexion, I think it's not going to look cohesive, I think, on your face. Well, if you do create like this more warm makeup look, then yes. But unfortunately, they do not have other shades. They have only the highlighter shades in this range. Let me just clean my finger. I do have a white sweater on me, so, you know, I don't want to get the blush on white sweater. Okay, let's blend this out just a little bit. All right. Now, let me check the concealer. It did crease just a little tiny bit more. So I'm cleaning that up. There you go. And now I'm gonna set it. So where's my puff? Oh my God, did I forget my puff? No, I didn't. It's right here. There you go. I usually use a puff like that. Oh my God, I need to refill. Oh, yeah, it doesn't want to come out anymore. Refill would be a good idea. So, just lightly setting like that. And the other eye. All right, so now let's do the eyes. First of all, I will be using the Party Proof primer from ColourPop. I'm almost out of it, but I still have some backups. It's a great primer. It's very affordable, but it does the job. So I love using that one. You guys, please let me know if you can hear me, because I did have some issues with my microphone a few times. So let me know if you can hear me or not. And you do need to leave the the primer. Okay. Now, let's talk about the palette. So, usually what I do with this palette is I take this shade, and it looks quite neutral to warm in the pan, but actually on the eyes it is quite cool toned. As you can see, it's almost like this grayish pink color, which looks amazing on the eyes, especially if you have a cooler complexion or, like me, a neutral complexion. Then it has this amazing duochrome. There you go. It's this nude to blue duochrome. If you can see it right there. Now, this shade I love as well. It's kind of gold, but it's something like a white gold. So let me show that to you as well. Can you see that? It's not a full-on champagne, even though it looks like it's a champagne right here in the palette. But as you can see, it's not. So yeah, I usually use those 3 shades, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. Let me just find my brush and I'll show you how I do it. Let me check. Okay, the primer. The primer, by the way, it can crease. You need to just kind of, you know, blend it out, and then you're good to go. You can do whatever you need to do. So let's do that. We're gonna use this shade. It's called Perfect Day. Oh yeah, I actually have a perfect day, a perfect eyeshadow day when I'm using this transition shade. It is quite light, but you can layer it. So obviously, depending on what you want for the day, I will not be layering it too much, but I also don't want it to be very, very light. So I'll just layer a tiny bit, something like that. Can you see? It's a great, cool shade for the transition for the crease. Same thing on the other eye. There you go. Just a little bit more. And yeah, I'm not doing anything crazy. Don't forget, this is an everyday look. Maybe just a little bit more. Just right here. And because I have like a hooded eye, I am trying to draw my crease a little bit above my natural crease, just to lift the eyes and open them just a little tiny bit. So now what I do, I just use my fingers and I take this duochrome shade and I just put it all over the lid basically. Can you see it? It's a very nice color. And the same thing on the other eye. And again, I do like the ColourPop formula, and I think that it is the best for the price that you can find, but not all the palettes. You need to know which palettes you can buy, which palettes have what type of formula. Because sometimes their mattes don't work, sometimes their shimmers don't work. This palette in particular is great in all regards, and the shimmers and the mattes. It even has this pressed glitter, but I don't really use pressed glitter, therefore, you know, I cannot say anything about that. But all the other shades I do use, and yeah, I love them. I think they blend well, the mattes work great, and the shimmers as well. And now we are putting this white gold shade in the inner corner to kind of brighten the lid a little bit. There you go, something like that. Let me just check how it looks. And blend a little tiny bit. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So now doing the same thing basically on the lower lash line, taking the same matte shade, basically all over the bottom eyelid. Smoke it out just a little bit. And I think let's deepen the bottom lash line with this shade. It's like this kind of asphalt gray, I would say. It's called Steal My Thunder. So let's deepen up just a tiny little bit. Not too much. These shades are quite pigmented, so be careful with that. And this palette is still on the ColourPop website. Obviously, ColourPop does that quite often, that they have like a nice collection and then they discontinue it for some reason. Well, not only ColourPop does that, a lot of brands do that. But thankfully, this palette is still on the website. Okay, that is it. for the eyeshadows, and now I'm just gonna take my NYX Lift and Snatch. It's actually a brow pen that I'm using as a liner because it has this tiny brush tip that you can easily control what you're doing. And I'm sorry, I won't be able to talk too much. I need to concentrate to do my eyeliner. So as you can see, I'm just creating this small, tiny little wing, just so my eyes look a little bit more elongated. Yeah, something like that. And sometimes I'll just use my nail to clean up or elongate the wing. But as you can see, it is quite easy to draw on a wing using this Lift and Snatch pen. Now, I do have one new thing, and it is this mascara from Benefit. It's called, I think they're Real Magnet, something like that. And yeah, basically what they're saying here is that it has a magnet inside the brush, which will help you to build the lashes, to elongate the lashes. Let's try. Let's see how it goes. I was very interested to try this mascara. I have no idea is it gonna work or not. It's my first time using it, and I am used to my Maybelline Sky High mascara. I think that mascara is one of the best mascaras on the market, especially for length and volume, and it does stay intact. It doesn't crumble or it doesn't transfer. I do have that issue a lot because again I have hooded eyes, and therefore during the day my mascara usually transfers, and I will see, you know, the mascara marks right here, and I hate when that happens because that way you always need to check whether it didn't transfer, well, whether it transferred or not, and things like that. And I cannot relax if I need to check for my makeup to be okay during the day. You know, I feel quite nervous. And Maybelline Sky High does not do that. So this is one layer with this mascara. What do we think? I think it did give the length, but not the volume. Well, at least you can see my lashes, right? Here you cannot see my lashes. That's a good thing. But Maybelline, with the same one coat, gives volume and length. But we'll see, maybe if I layer it just a little bit, it's going to look even better. I don't know. It does layer quite well. It doesn't clump together, which is good. I don't really like the, you know, clumpy lashes look. I like my lashes to look a little bit more fluffy, if you know what I mean, separated. Okay, that doesn't look bad. I mean, it's not giving the volume that I want, but it's giving the length that I want. Well, probably because it's not giving the volume, it's not getting clumpy. I think that's the thing. Okay, but I mean, if we compare, it does look good, right? Let's do the other eye. Okay, this eye is not working that well. I don't know why. It's a bit more difficult. Maybe because it's my left eye, you know, and I cannot hold the wand properly. I don't know. But the lashes are a bit more clumpy here, if you can see that. Let me try to separate them. Okay, yeah, you can separate them. But basically, you know, with this mascara, it's supposed to be building length because of the magnet that is in the wand. But I don't see, you know, I don't see a difference with using my Maybelline Sky High and using this. I think the length is exactly the same. Maybe I'll need to do a comparison. One eye using this one and another eye with Maybelline. Because I really do not see a difference in the length, honestly. I mean, yes, you can see my lashes. Yes, they are lengthened, but not, I don't know, normal amount, I would say. Not to the extent that I was hoping. Okay, that doesn't look bad. So basically, that is it. Let me just put on a lipstick and we're good to go. And the eye look you already can see. I do love this eye look so much for every day because it looks, you know, it looks simple but put together and interesting at the same time because it's this, you know, really icy cool tone, but at the same time not too cool toned, if you know what I mean. I do see that you guys see it just a little bit more cool toned, but it's not that, it's not gray cool toned, you know, it's like this pinky mauvey gray-ish tone, I would say, especially, you know, in the crease. So let me just grab something to put on the lips and we're good to go. I'll probably be using this one, the Maybelline Lifter Glaze in the shade 07 Berry Haze. And what else? Let me find, I think, my pencil. Yeah, I cannot find it. I usually have it in my bag because, you know, I carry it around with me all the time. I love that pencil. And yeah, you can see that I love that pencil. It is like this cool toned pink, which exactly suits this look today. So I do overline my upper lip just a little bit, not the bottom lip though. and I fill in the corners. To make like this pouty look. Something like that. Let me just show you the shade. This shade is exactly the same as the Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk pencil. Amazing. And the quality is exactly the same, by the way. And yeah, let's just add the lip glaze. I'm gonna show you the shade as well. You see that they go together amazingly. It's like a perfect combo. So, and that is it. Let me just do something with my hair. Recently, it has been all over the place for some reason. It has been giving me bad hair days. Okay, so this is the eye look that we have created using this palette. And I'm very happy to see that ColourPop still has this palette because when this is done, I'm gonna order a new one. When this shade in particular. And I think I'm going to be hitting pan quite soon because I use it so much and so often. So there you go. You can see the look. I think this is a great look for every day, for going to the office. I don't know, just to chill around or meet your friends or whatever it is. I think this look suits every occasion because it's not too much, it's not too little. It's exactly the perfect amount to kind of, you know, have something interesting on your eyes, but not too much. Girly Pop, hi, hi. So if you were thinking about purchasing this palette or you were looking for a look that actually, you know, does something interesting, it's a nude look, but it's not too much, then that's exactly it. If you like this look, there you go, you found your palette. What the time it is, it's 6 p.m. right now. Yeah, I'm in Europe. So yeah, that's about it for today. I think we're gonna end it on this note because that was basically why we're here. I just wanted to show you how I create an everyday look using this palette. You saw it. I hoped you like it. If you did, I would be really glad if you subscribed to the channel and followed me on TikTok as well. So thank you so much and have a good day wherever you are, or morning or evening, depending where you are. And I'll see you later. Bye.